So, yeah, before, uh, okay, guys, hi, welcome. So, let's start with Yashika. So, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. So I come from the city beautiful Chandigarh, and being daughter of a defense personnel, I have grown up with the values of being disciplined and dedicated towards my work. I have done BE Food Technology in my undergraduation, and currently I'm working as a research analyst at Graby Research. My work involves analyzing patent and non-patent literature to drive insights that help me solve the client's problem statement. So I have been involved in various projects in which I was able to diversify their products that they offer, give them technological insights into what is new that is happening in their domain. And talking about my undergraduation, I am a gold medalist, and I also interned at Mondelez India, where I learned about the manufacturing process there. Along with being academically driven, I have also actively participated in various extracurricular activities. I am one of the founding members of the alumni relations cell of my college, and along with that, I was also involved in a non-profit organization called Inactis, in which we were able to change the lives of the potters community and empower women to be independent. And both our projects, they were able to generate a revenue of 28 lakhs over a period of 20 months. And our projects were internationally recognized and appreciated. And all these experiences have molded me into a person who is a very responsible leader, a team player, and also very passionate towards my work. Yes, so this is a bit about myself.
Thank you. That was very nice. So, yeah, Gaurav, moving on to you.
So, good evening, sir. I am from Jhalra Patan, a religious city from Rajasthan, also known as City of Bells. I have worked with Aarti Industries as a process engineer, having a total work ex of 21 months, in which I have done various projects. Some of the projects I have been proud of is one is I have helped in increasing the plant capacity as 81 ton per day by improving the process conditions. And other project is to decrease the process downtime by a shortage of concentrated nitric acid. I have commissioned the 800 KL concentrated nitric acid storage tanks by the help of other teams. Before that, I did my BTech in chemical engineering from SPNIT Surat, whereas I was a part of Chemical Engineering Society and also Joyfest, whereas we did drive for collecting papers and cloths and later on donations. In my free time, I go to run daily for 5 kilometers. I do skateboarding, and yeah, that's a bit about me.
Uh, okay, so Gaurav, since you mentioned that you hail from a religious city, what would you say is so special about your city?
Sir, so the it is also known as City of Bells because there are more than 100 temples in the city, and in the evening when there is prayer starts, it's like all the bells started simultaneously, so that's why it's called City of Bells.
Okay, fair. Uh, so, Yashika, moving on to you, some questions I had regarding your form. You mentioned that you were involved in evaluation of patents, right?
Yes, in my work ex.
So, what is the procedure to get a patent for like any particular thing?
Yes, so for getting a patent is actually a very long process. So whenever someone comes up with some idea, so the first step is registering an application to the patent office, because you it can be anything on a piece of paper. You can write your idea. It is not an explicit form that you need to provide all the details. So from here the application process starts. Then you need to do a prior art work search so that you understand that is it a novel idea, or is it non-obvious, or is it industrially applicable. So all those things are done in the prior art search.
Yeah.
After you have done that search, you need to then file the application, extensive application about what your idea is about, what it solves, and what is the new thing about it. And it goes into the evaluation process. And after that, it would be publicly available. The patent office it publishes it before actually it- granting it. It publicates like it is in publication. So, we need not fear that after publication your work will be stolen as it is not granted, because if the patent is granted, it will be granted on the date when you first went to office with that piece of paper. So from that day onwards, that would be there. And after that, once it is publicly available, and within a span of, I think, 12 months, the patent office evaluates it, and different queries are raised. You need to solve them or rectify them, like change some language if it is a barrier to your grant, and then the patent gets granted.
And what is the validity of a typical patent?
Typically, it lasts for 20 years.
And what happens when a patent is, say, breached?
So if a patent is breached, the technical term for it is infringed. It is an infringement case. Lawsuit is filed, and then also our company also works in that domain. Like it is one of the verticals. So a lawsuit is filed, and you need to show that whether if someone files on you that you have infringed something. So you need to invalidate that patent through prior art search, that there is something that already exists, so the idea is not novel and it would get cancelled. And if you are the one who is filing the suit, you need to you normally sue the person, and that is all the law thing that goes.
Okay, cool. So, Gaurav, coming back to you. So, since
Yes.
you studied chemical engineering in your undergraduation, I just had a few questions on that. So, firstly, how would you say differentiate between packed and tray columns? So, like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of both? Like, if you had to compare.
Uh, so, in columns, packed and tray columns, going by basic definitions, in tray column they are consisting of the trays, and in packed column they are either staggered or non-staggered and filled of material.
Yeah.
Actually, I cannot recall at the moment.
Okay, cool, cool, no problem. So, okay, then let's move to your work ex only. So, what chemical was your firm producing?
So I was working at calcium chloride production plant, and my firm is basically a benzene supply chain. It takes benzene from Reliance and then do its chlorination, nitration, hydrogenation, and all the processes.
Okay. And how is it like? How do you think you learned supply chain over there? Because as I understand, it is more related towards, say, chemical engineering. So, were there any ways in which you learned supply chain there?
Uh, so exactly, I have learned like the foolproof supply chain. What I got the understanding is like our weekly meetups and meetings. I got to know that the supply chain manager told us like this is the target we have to complete then, and then while it to store then and to supply it, how is it transferred, and to manage the inventory. That's all I know about supply chain.
Okay, how do we manage the inventories?
So in the case of my plant, calcium chloride, uh, we get a weekly target, like we have to send this much of production to the client. Our was in Abu Dhabi Trizex. So we have to complete that production. We stored that in the storage capacity area, and yes sir, so that's what I think about the inventory.
Okay, but what method do you use to calculate your inventory? Okay, if
That's
you
not
if you're
an
not aware, no, please go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So just one more question. So you mentioned that you looked at various process parameters. So, like, can you list a few?
Yes, sir. So temperature, pressure, flow rate, and temperature, pressure, flow rate, the basic parameters for this. And then according to for different reactors, there are different flow rates, there a level, there are levels which activations, and that.
So on what principles are, like, say, pressure is measured?
So pressure is measured like from rho gh. I mean by the formula rho gh, in which we, for example, storage tank. So storage tank, the material till which it is which filled from the specific gravity and multiply, we find the pressure.
Okay, fair. I think I've known enough about both of your work ex. So yeah, if you guys can pitch in.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So hi Ashika. I have also interned with Mondelez. So I just wanted to know in which plant did you work with Mondelez?
Yes, so I worked in the Baddi plant and in Himachal,
And you were working with which
the Bonvita section.
okay, and so what was your actual role in that internship?
Yes, so in that internship, my major part was to understand the process. So because we were not given a project explicitly, so they asked us to like do all the understand the manufacturing process, and along with that, they were working on different things at that time. So we were helping out them during the internship.
So what was your deliverable? I mean, were you graded on some parameters? So
Yeah, we
how
needed
did they
to
actually?
present the manufacturing process in our college because due to COVID, we were not able to explicitly do everything there.
Okay, so how did Mondelez benefit from your internship? Because they actually know their process. So how did you actually help Mondelez in maybe improving their process or something else?
Yes, so at that time, actually, they were doing their like the Six Sigma, something of that sort they were working on. And so we had to like take up everything. We were making basically charts and helping the executives on that part.
Okay, and
So
what is
actually, we did not actually get it what it was, but it was just a help that we were given. We were not
okay,
like
so
explicitly taught about it.
can you tell me in some numerical terms what actually was the benefit of your internship? So because understanding the manufacturing process is totally theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you in a practical sense?
Like in numbers, I would not be able to give any number to the experience that I got there. But I think all the theoretical aspects that I learned during my graduation, I was able to see them and correlate that. So I think from that way, I was benefit that I could actually see what I studied in my class.
So, did they have a choice to, I mean, did they offer you PPO or there was not an option for that?
No, that was not an option.
Okay, so suppose if they were to offer a PPO,
Mm-hmm.
what would you think you would say that what were your three major qualities or what were your three major inputs to the company that were valuable
Uh,
so that they might be persuaded to give you a PPO?
Yes. So the major thing that I did, what I learned there, I can tell about that. One thing is I learned about the manufacturing process, not just for the Bonvita section, but also for the chocolate section and that they had. I like explicitly saw the whole plant. And along with that, I also went to the sensory department, that how sensory evaluations are done, and for that also I can like contribute there too about the sensory thing. uh,
Okay.
Apart from
Can
that,
you tell me
yeah, this,
one improvement that could be done in their manufacturing process?
yes, I think one improvement where they can work is into the wastage that goes into the caps. There are actually automated capping machines. So I think a lot of caps are wasted in that. So improving that process, I think, can help reduce the waste as well as utilize better.
Okay, understood. So, Kumar, I think we have met on some other platform as well. I feel that I have interacted with you earlier. So, I'm also from SPJIMR. So, I'm a 2019 graduate. So, I just wanted to know what is your best thing of what did you find the best in SPJIMR?
There are various things I found best about SPNIT. One of that is obviously the campus itself, from campus to the hostels, and then going to the curriculum. Uh, I found that chemical engineering curriculum was also pretty good and exciting, and also the fest and the clubs. Like I was part of Google Developer Group in second year. Then I came to Chemical Engineering Society in third year, and I also was a part of Joy Fest, which was also a very satisfying
What
thing
was
to do.
your role
So
in
yes, sir.
JoyFest?
In Joy Fest, sir, in first year, uh, there was hostel for first year Gajjar Bhavan. So in which we set a table and give them the information was what was the Joy Fest, and later we have collected the papers and cloths from all the rooms and that
Okay,
gave them to seniors.
okay. Anything that you did to actually implement JoyFest, because that's a fest in itself. So, what did you do to actually make that fest happen? What was your role in that? Or you were only a
Uh,
volunteer?
so I was more of a volunteer only.
So, you were not actively involved with JoyFest, right?
So what I did in Joyfest was first to collect papers and cloths, and second, we like from the uh, we used to sell mugs and t-shirts to uh, yes, sir.
Okay. And any one POR that you can name, I mean, a position of responsibility that you held during your undergrad or work ex, apart from the daily routine that you did. So, maybe you handled a team of some people, or maybe you looked after a competition or organized something for your chemical engineering society, or maybe Google Developers Club. Anything that you did?
So in Chemical Engineering Society, I have conducted a workshop on siphon, and later on chemical engineering designing software S1. And during my work ex, I have chair act as a chairman for HAZOP of the concentrated nitric acid storage tanks. So that in during the HAZOP, I was single-handedly leading all the HAZOP part.
Okay. So, why do you think that it would be a good fit for SPJIMR?
Okay, sir. So from the work ex I got during RT Industries, I've learned the aspects of how the production, basic production works, and while interacting with my operations managers and learning like there are a lot of different things apart from technical expertise to move an industry, like how an industry works. So from that, I got the understanding that operation and supply chain management from the SPJMR will okay, sir, but
So, I mean, this is an answer where you are
yes, sir.
opting for operating supply chain in SPJIMR. I want to know why SPJIMR? Why SPJIMR would be a good fit for you, or why do you think that SPJIMR should consider you as a serious candidate for their flagship program? You can answer
So,
either of the questions. Why do you think SP is a good fit for you, or why do you think SPJIMR can think of you as a good fit?
so
Answer
I
any
feel
one of them.
so I feel SPJMR is a good fit for me. because first thing is we can choose the specialization from the start of the course compared to other B school programs. Then going into the curriculum for class, they're consisting of classroom learning and non-classroom learning. And while going through like their value and ethic curriculum that have the highest credit among all the B school leading MBA programs. And then the operation management, operation and supply planning control, that all chapters subjects really excited me. So that's why I think that SPJIMR, I'm
Do
looking
you
forward for
know
the SPJIMR.
do you know how the curriculum works in SPJAIN? Do you study your specialization from the first year? Are you sure?
No, sir, we do not study specialization from the first year. The first year are the common like in 3 terms, but from second year we go into specialization. But like in other B school colleges, we, as far as I know, that we get the specialization from second year, while in SPJMR from the start we know that this is our specialization.
So why don't you think that it's better to get specialization in second year because you still have an option to explore some of the options in the first year and then choose what is your best fit rather than giving you your specialization from the starting?
Sir, like in SPJMR also we can with major we can also choose the minor, as far as I remember, from minor from any of the specialization. And second, according to the workex, I think that the operation and supply chain management will be beneficial for my future goals.
Okay, understood. So Yashika, do you know any of the NCL courses that SPJMR offers?
Yes, like SPJMR, it offers basically 5 NCL programs. It is the DOCC program, Development of Corporate Citizenship, and the Abhyodaya, in which we mentor a kid from the underprivileged section. And apart from that, we have the Science of Spirituality, the PG Lab, Personal Growth Lab, and the Admin. So these are the NCL courses that SPJMR offers.
Okay. And why MBA for you? Why
For
don't
me,
you go into food technology and maybe become a food technology expert, because that's a special field and you have done something different which is not being done by most of the candidates. So you see that most of the people are from engineering background or analyst background, or maybe have done their BCom or honors in some from different kinds of universities, but yours is very different. So why don't you pursue a different career path altogether rather than going into the same grind of MBA?
so for me, my interest towards management, it is not that I grew it just now. It is from my undergraduation days while I was part of Enactus, which is a social entrepreneurship in which we undertake social entrepreneurship projects. So there, when we were working with the community, we had to sell some of the products that they were making. So from there, I got introduced to the fact that marketing is a very different thing from selling from just selling. And when we as a team realized this fact, we were very vigilant in our further endeavors to plan things first, to understand what people actually want, and take that back to my community to make them understand that this is what people want and to innovate in that way. Like for our Potters community, we saw that it was a time when biryani was started to be sold in a handi. So we told them you should automate the process so that you can cater to that section too. And also in Chandigarh at that time, many MBA Chai Wala or Chai Sutta Bar, such kind of outlets were opening up. So there was quite a need for coolers. So we took that up to them to make them understand you should make your consistency in your work so that you can cater to such chains because they are upcoming chains and they would definitely help you out, give you consistent orders. So from that, my interest in marketing grew. And even in my job also, I think that some or the other way we are using some concepts of marketing. For example, like when we do a market search for some company for partner scouting, we analyze what kind of innovations they are doing. So that is basically segmenting them into different kind of technologies they are working on. And after that, we tell them like this is the person you should target because so reason that they are working on a similar technology that you are working, or they are of the same size as you. And for me, I'm taking specifically, I'm going towards MBA because I think on various projects that we were working, I was able to give a technological insight through reading patents or all the literature. But I think when it comes to uh, consulting someone or telling someone that you should do this, I overlook the business implications. So I think understanding that business aspect, I'll be able to better communicate and like I'll be better contribute to the company so that I become an asset and be a part of their growth story. So that is why I want to do an MBA and specifically in marketing.
Understood. One last question. Piyush, do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. I think I have to both of your answers. I think good that you have understood your work experience well, and now that you have listened to both of you, I'd like to first ask Yashika and then Gaurav. You have to answer one by one. Why should you be this? You be the one who should be selected and not the other?
Yes. So if I talk about why I should be selected or how I am a better fit, I think SPJMR focuses on two things, innovation and the social sensitivity. So I think I am a person who has been working in a sector that is constantly innovating, the intellectual property sector. So I know about how one should innovate or what are the innovations that are going on. And as I have been a part of social entrepreneurship projects, I am a very socially sensitive person. I know I have worked on the grassroots level. I have talked to like the people, the lowest strata of the society. So I know how they think, how they consume products, what appeals to them. And also, I would say that along with it, SPJMR is an institute that offers excellent studies, and along with the NCL programs, I think I'll be able to better contribute to that. And along with that, I think I will bring a very different perspective to the class because I am from a background that is not very common, as one of the panelists said. So I think all these three things would make me a better fit for SPJIMR.
You still have answered half of the question. Why should you be the selected and not the other person?
Okay, if I talk about why the other person should not be selected, I would say that uh, I like there are no certain rules that why other person should not be selected. I think I can tell you why I am a better fit because for analyzing or telling who why someone should not be selected, I think I'm not capable enough to answer that.
Okay, Gaurav, your turn. Why should you be the one who should be selected and not the other person?
At working at Aarti Industries, working with from the operator and supervisors to the manager level, I got to know that with the purpose of making profit, we also have a social responsibility. So I got that feel of social responsibility, and SPJMR curriculum will provide me with not only the specified education manner, but also the social values toward the society. And coming to the question, why should I get selected it, not the other person? I think we both are the best fit for the program, but it will be like I'm not in the position to judge who is to be selected and who is to not.
Both
So
of you are basically people who can't take judgments, who can't make decisions, who can't like help others make decisions. So why should both of you be selected? Why should any of you be selected? You can't make any decision here. Help me decide. Come on. Why should you be selected and not the other person?
and so actually like I'm my preference for the specialization is operations and supply chains, and her is marketing. So
Okay, let's say first year is common. You understood that.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
We are not making a pool in the first year like, hey, this is marketing, this is ops. I have to make a pool of like, let's say 500 people. Why should you both of you get in? And then maybe a short test. Why should you get into the first pool? Or let's say, why should you qualify GI one first of all? Then we will talk about.
So I think only one point that I can bring up is the diversity that I bring. And that is something that I think Gaurav does not have. I have a very diverse background, so I will bring in a different experience and a different view.
Let's say the person sitting next to you is also from your background, then why?
Then I would say that the experiences that I had during my undergraduation as well as during my work ex, I think both I have been a person who has been socially involved, and in the industry I've also worked. So I think that is for
All
the
right, answer the same.
experiences that I have.
Gaurav, answer the same question.
I can't hear you properly. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, please answer the same question. Help me decide, why should you be the one who should be selected, or you want not, or you don't want to be selected?
No, sir. I obviously want to be selected, and we both, like, we are at the G1 shortlist. We are at the G1 interview round, so I guess we both prepared very well and in the different manner from CAT to and coming to this. So I think why should I be selected is because I have a related work experience to the operations and supply chain, and
She has related work experience to marketing. So why should you be the one who should be selected and not her? Okay, fair enough. I think I'm done from my side, and let's end the interview over here. Yeah, sure. Thank you, guys. Relax, calm down. Okay. All right. Feedback time. Anirvan, then Shambhav, and then I'll go ahead with my feedback.
तो
So,
मीटिंग खत्म हो जाएगी बीच में.
then
कोई बात नहीं. We'll continue with the feedback in some other form, but go ahead.
Yeah, so guys really liked it. So, firstly, starting with Yashika, excellent. Tell me about yourself. And you really have amazing spikes in your CV, and you made sure to reflect that. You made sure that it is reflected in your TMAY. Apart from that, Samba was grilling you on your Mondelez work. So, just a suggestion for you. You could find profs who have some coincidence with your work or your undergraduation. So, Gaurav, the questions I asked you about chemical engineering were the very same questions that I was asked about. I was asked in my GI1.
Yes.
Was the prof was from chemical engineering. So, just be
Okay.
about your undergraduation subjects. You could be grilled on those subjects. Uh, so for Yashika, yeah, in the Mondelez part, just I would recommend you to strengthen the business impact. Like wherever you have mentioned anything, just make sure you know the impact of it and how you arrived at it. What was your role in it? Okay. Apart from that, we didn't ask you a lot about it, but you could be asked things about marketing. I guess you would have been prepared about it, but just like some technicalities about marketing, so you can prepare on that. Just one suggestion was that when Piyush asked you about why you above the other candidate, it seemed to me that you were a bit fixated
Mhm.
on why the other person should not have been selected. So just make sure that you don't portray anything negative. Okay, so our aim was that why you are a better fit and not why the other person is not a better fit. So just that thing. Now coming to Gaurav, uh, I think you can work a bit about your TMAY. So maybe like form it in a story manner and make sure
Yes,
that
sir.
it your spikes. So things that you want to be questioned about, you can consider keeping it at the end because then those act as hooks. Okay. So when again Samba was asking you about Joy Fest, you gave certain terms which are say very specific to your college. Now, if the prof is not from your college, how would he understand? Okay. Similarly, you were using words like HAZOP or Aspen High.
Okay.
If someone is not from chemical engineering, they wouldn't be able to understand. So make it a bit more generic. And lastly, why SPJIMR, why MBA are questions that you should not think about. Okay, you should have them on your tips. So just practice those. So yeah, apart from that, really liked your interview. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Sambhav, please, your review.
Anirban already gave a very exhaustive feedback, so that was a really good feedback. Yashika, yeah, just one thing, you can't say that I did this internship and it did not have any kind of a business impact. It was like you were saying कि मैं internship करके आ गई, मेरे को फायदा हो गया, I submitted my report to the college and that's it. उसमें कहीं कोई impact नहीं दिख रहा था. How Mondelez benefited from it, and you didn't have any kind of a thing like could have been improved in your manufacturing process or some sort of impact that you could have shown, or maybe you could have said that in my 2 months of internship I identified 3 major points that could have been identified. So I was trying to get that from you. So when you tell about internship, that business impact should reflect first. You can't say कि I studied the manufacturing process and it was done and dusted, because that's a very normal thing that you do. I mean, you are reading a paper, you are studying it, that's a very theoretical thing. There is no practicality involved in that. And apart from that, just like Anirban talked about, there could be questions wherein you could be asked to use frameworks like STP or 4P. You might have studied about it. Okay. If I'm not, STP is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So questions might be a question like, how would you go about marketing this kind of a brand? So you could go by using a STP framework, and you could use 4-piece segmentation wherein you go by product, place, promotion, and price. And then you can use PESTEL framework. You could use 5C framework. So just try to have a structure in your answers as well. So start with, okay, looking at through the lens of STP framework, I'll talk about this. And apart from it was overall really good. Gaurav, I still feel that you are lacking on your undergrad preparation, and make
Yes, sir.
sure that you use, make sure that you have ample amount of impact reflected in your work as well. So, and be confident with your answers. And that's it from my side.
All right. So thank you so much, guys. Okay, I'll give you my feedback personally. So thank you so much. All right, Sambhav.